All about the friends you have. A new study reveals that husbands who disapprove of their wife's friends are twice as likely to get divorced. However, women do not have to like their husband's friends, thank God, for their marriage to survive. Researchers believe that women are less willing to give up their friends even when they are disliked by their husbands. But men will ditch people if their wives do not like them. Have any of you found this to be true? I'm trying to get the wheels turning in my head. I don't think I've ever had...
Okay, so I had a situation before. What had happened was, so I was in this relationship long time ago. And when I started dating this guy, I have a lot of male friends. Let me start by saying that I find more joy in being friends with men. That's just my thing. That's my zhuzh. So I had this one friend, and the guy I was dating at the time, we were getting really serious, getting ready to pop the question, and he wanted me to ditch my male friends. And I told him...
All of them? Did you all of them?
Yes. And I told him absolutely not. So it came down to an ultimatum situation. Either you're going to lose your friends or you're going to lose me. And we're not together today. So what does that tell you? To me, it told me that that's a control mechanism. If you're trying to tell me who I can and cannot be friends with, and you're telling me I better get rid of them, no, boo-boo, you got rid of this, and shame on you. So I don't fall for that. I mean, I wouldn't let anyone give me any type of ultimatum and tell me about losing friends, because to me that's unhealthy. Every person, man or woman, when you're in a relationship or a marriage, you need other friends to have that outlet. You can't be booed up all the time. That's no.
I think it depends, because I'm trying to think of, when I was dating my ex, who I was at one point engaged to back in prehistoric
long time ago, yeah.
There was one friend that he thought was constantly flirting with me, and European people just a lot more affectionate, and this friend was specifically European, so he was a much more affectionate friend than my ex was used to, and so he thought he was trying to get with me all the time, and he was like, you need to stop being friends with him. I was like, no. I mean, and we didn't break up because of it, so I mean, I'm not sure if the study is obviously 100% true, because that's not what we ended up breaking up over. I think it depends on the situation, whether it's worth breaking the relationship over.
I think if the friend, whether the friend is male or female, or whether the friend is a friend of the husband or the friend of the wife, is inserting themselves into giving an opinion of how you should treat your husband, or her opinion on how things, or you say well, Susan told me you shouldn't be doing this. If they start now interfering with, and you are picking the friend over the spouse, whoever inside the table, that's when it gets a little touchy. And I can understand if a husband getting upset, especially if the other friend is a very Debbie Downer or a very negative person and is constantly saying, honey, you need to step away, you know, a little bit. So I guess it's a catch-22.
Yeah, like I said, it's a very situational kind of topic. It's not every situation where it's me or the friends is going to be the same. I know, it's very complicated.
Okay, so now we're going to chat about a topic that continues to spark some heat, baby. Moving in together, aka shacking up. Well, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, more Americans than ever are choosing to live together before marriage. And the Pew Research Center says more than half of all women, well, I got to be a woman, between the age of 19 to 44 who marry for the very first time, they actually have lived with their husbands before walking down the aisle. Now, to many, this is kind of a deal breaker, but it's the timing that seems to be all the difference. So, ladies, let's have a little chit chat here. What are your thoughts on shacking up? I'm going to throw it to our guest host today. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I am that old school that you don't live with somebody until you get married. That being said, and to some of the people out in this TV land that know me, please don't be shocked at my next statement. I am divorced. I had been married before, and 6-7 months before we walked down the aisle, engaged happened, planning wedding happened, everything was going on. His lease was up situation. We did move in, but there was a ring on the finger. There was a commitment there. I'm not saying that was a right decision to make, but that's what I did at the time. However, that was many years ago. I have been in many relationships since, and I have never lived with anyone. I mean, I may have liked it, but to me, the moving in together is a commitment. It is not a trial run. I don't think a lot of people move in together just because it's easy. Well, we'll see if this works. We're not ready to commit. Well, I'm sorry. Somewhere in there, money's going to be shared, everything. there's no commitment. And that old school kicks in. Until that commitment is there, no.
And actually, reports are pointing to...
That's my faith intervening a little bit, too. So.
Actually, right now, seniors are more prone to moving in together, shacking up, you know, older people. But they're saying that's because of financial reasons.
Right.
But that's sorry, I'm going to take the millennial perspective on this. And full disclosure, my boyfriend and I are living together.
You're the resident shacker-upper.
I am the resident shacker-upper, and I'm obviously okay with it. But I mean, my mom thinks a lot like you do. Obviously, very foreign, very Catholic woman, very loving. Love you, Mom.
Hey,
she was super against it, super against it for all of the same exact reasons. And I think millennials you see them more and more of them cohabitating unmarried. Yes. And a lot of them are doing it where it's like, oh, we've been dating for a few months. Why not? We can save on rent together. You see a lot of that. That is irresponsible. Because you do end up sharing money. You don't know how to do your finances together because it's different when you're married. My boyfriend and I were in a very serious, committed relationship over, I think, a year at that point. And we decided to move in together because, you know, in the point in our relationship and where we are now, there was no downside to it for us, me personally. And I mean, we love each other very, very much. We cared for each other a ton. I love waking up next to him. I love bugging him when he's supposed to be awake at 11 a.m. It's great. But I understand.
Is there a commitment coming to that? Is this like, well, this is just fine. If it works, it works. It doesn't, Or is there verbiage, at least, conversation in this? This
oh yeah, we have. I mean, yeah, we're in that point of our relationship where we say like, oh yeah, you're gonna be like so annoying when you're 60-something years old, and I have to live with you for the rest of my life. So things like that have already been said in our relationship. So it's not like you know, for now, this is good kind of thing. Our relationship is much more serious than.
But I also feel like a lot of millennials are not getting married, and they're just doing the shacking up or moving in together.
That's called wild by the cow when the milk is free. Stop giving away your milk, girl.
But if both people are okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a different generation. They don't think like we think, and they're not living exactly the same way that we did. So they're changing things a little bit. And I don't think that a lot of them will marry. I think a lot of you will just get together and live together.
And that's unfortunate.
And have children
really
together.
So unfortunate.
But that's how it's being done. So I'm not here to judge. That's not my point.
That's not godly. It's in the Bible. That's in the Bible.
Don't shack up. No. Shack up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is your body storing fat more easily? Do you suffer from